What I love most about the city of Buffalo is the people. There are a lot of people, personalities, different cultures, and I love that about Buffalo.
What I love most about the city of Buffalo are the people. They're really everything. They're the fabric, they're the energy.
What I love most about the city of Buffalo, besides the bills, is the community.
What I love most about the city of Buffalo is, number one, the food, and second, the resilience of the entire community.
I'm loving the diversity that we have. I love the food that we have. I really love the change in seasons that we have as well.
Well, I love gardening, so I love the fact that we do grow things here that you can't grow everywhere. You can grow apples and pears, and this is New York.
Buffalo has a lot of things to love. I think I love the East Side, where interesting people live, where I live. I love the water, Niagara River, Lake Erie. I love the trees. It's so beautiful in the spring when everything kind of bursts and bloom. I love the people. People of Buffalo have a different kind of spirit. They really do. It's kind of interesting, because you have a lot of separation in the city, but it's kind of interesting. People are separate, but if something critical happens, people are eager to kind of just jump in and help. So it's kind of an amazing spirit.
One of the things I love most about the city of Buffalo is the landscape. I like to be able to have, a variety of options. If I want to go near the water, I have the opportunity to go near water. If we want to go and kind of take my kids to, out to the forest area for hiking, we have the opportunity to do that. If they want to go sledding, they have the opportunity to do that, and it's all local.
What I love most about the city of Buffalo is the fact when there is an emergency or need, we do come together.
The CDC launched REACH in 1999 to address health disparities across racial and ethnic groups, right? Because they already had identified that these certain racial and ethnic groups had greater disparities and inequities than white Americans. The mission of REACH Buffalo is to remove those barriers that are preventing people from reaching their full health potential. Some of these barriers include race and ethnicity, where people live, maybe where they work, income, education levels, and there are other social factors that play into that as well.
CAI is an organization that utilizes the transformative power of education, research, really to help foster a more aware, healthy, compassionate, and equitable world. And I'm very proud to say that its values really are or surround being anti-racist. When you look at our society today in terms of dealing with racism and other injustices, CAI is an organization that addresses or takes a stand that we're anti-racist. In addition to that, the founding core values, I would say, also surround community engagement, really embracing diversity, equity, and inclusion. We utilize the term empowerment, as well, and also I think that building self-efficacy, is important. And I would say, just to round it out, being a organization that really stands on integrity and focuses on safety, building a healthy, a safe work environment, but also community. The mission and the core values of CAI relates to REACH Buffalo, to the project, specifically because it's about really building the self-efficacy of the residents on the east side of Buffalo. REACH stands for Racial and Ethnic Approaches Towards Community Health. And it's not about coming into a community and saying, this is what we can do for you. It's really coming alongside the community and building their capacity, to unleash what's inside of them so that they have the power and the authority to create the change that they want to see.
I think one of the cornerstones of REACH and the way that we implement REACH is that we believe the community has the answers. And what we've seen is that community members are willing to come together, are willing to volunteer, business owners are willing to come together, willing to work together in this movement, like this greater goal to really dispelling a lot of those barriers that we face. And that, I would say that's like a really good thing about Reach Buffalo, that we have been able to engage the community in a real authentic way. And we've been able to bring people on board, and people who never worked with each other before are working with each other. And I think one of the things I'm most proud of is that these initiatives are going to move forward, whether the CDC continues to fund REACH or not. The focus areas that we've selected to work on are nutrition, breastfeeding, community clinical linkages, and tobacco.
I do a lot of work in the social determinants of health. That's really the daily work that I do all of the time. And I seem to focus most in the area of food and nutrition because I see that as being a pivotal issue. And so we know the socioeconomics is a really important factor in creating a healthful or healthy lifestyle. And so we know that access to food, access to transportation intersects with the ability to eat well and to be a wellness-minded individual. If you live in certain zip code areas in this city, you will not be able to take advantage of a work environment where you will have a sustainable wage for you and your family. Therefore, it really limits your ability to access food, access information.
So even if I have a desire to eat well because of my socioeconomic circumstance, I can't do that. Locally sourced food is extremely important. And I think nothing proved that more than the COVID-19 pandemic, when you had groceries running out of this, running out of that. When you grow it locally, you have less travel time. It's more likely that you have access to these things, right? It keeps costs down, but more importantly, just as a survival method, if you can't grow your own food, if you don't have access to food that's close to you, whenever the supply chain is down, if a truck is broken or anything like that, it makes it very difficult for you to eat. Locally sourced and growing your own is extremely important.
The pharmacy program recognizes that it's important to enlist physicians and clinics in the process of trying to help folks improve their nutrition and improve the way that they eat. So the pharmacy program does just that, working with a physician or a clinic that where the physicians believe in food as medicine. That is key. They have to be able to draw that direct line between diet and diet-related diseases. And once that physician does that and is looking for a partner who can provide healthy, locally grown produce to their patients of choice, patients that they feel could benefit from an improved diet. So a few of our deliverables in our partnership with REACH is mainly to get fresh, local, nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables into the hands of those that need it the most, to support and grow urban farms, to provide recipes and nutrition education, and host wellness events where folks can get not only food access, but also education, and have a place to express what their needs are, because we can assume that we know what folks know, but until we actually speak with those who we're trying to serve, we're not 100% sure we know exactly what they need.
My patients absolutely love this program. Every time we speak to them about it, they love how fresh the fruit is, how sweet the fruit is, how the variety that they get in each basket. I have one patient, she gets so much that she actually shares with her neighbor, and her neighbor wanted to be a part of it. So something we can visit later, but everybody loves it. They find themselves eating healthier, and then it's helping with their blood sugar levels. My work at Pure Podiatry helps with the mission of REACH by making sure we look at all of our patients as a whole. So sometimes with patients that have diabetes, even if they're not in the ferry corridor, through REACH and through collaborations with other partners, I've been able to set patients up for diabetes education, which is so important to getting them to understand what their diagnosis is, helping them understand how they can manage it. And in some instances, I've had patients who have been able to get off of their medications because they have been able to get their blood sugars under control. When we have these diabetes management classes, diabetes management programs, it lets other people understand that they're not going through it alone. And I think it takes some of the embarrassment out of it for patients as well, because what somebody else is saying is something that they're going through, and it helps them to move past it.
Having better health education prepares individuals for, in a sense, their own overall health, their well-being, but also too for their children and other family members. Buffalo Breastfeeding Sisters is a breastfeeding support group for African American women in 5 zip codes within Erie County. The purpose of that group is to promote, educate, and support Black women that are currently pregnant and want to breastfeed, or Black women that are currently breastfeeding who want that sisterhood, who want the support, who really want to be successful around their journey when it comes to breastfeeding. And having other Black women with them and being, kind of in a sense, they're champions that are motivating them, encouraging them, giving them tips, giving them suggestions, giving them just sometimes insight to say, hey, try this because this worked for me. It really uplifts them. Buffalo's Breastfeeding Sisters program has 2 components: breastfeeding peers and breastfeeding ambassadors. The breastfeeding peers are individuals that have been trained as peer lactation consultants, as well as some of them have even gone and completed their certified lactation training as well. So they are the ones that usually meet with the moms on a regular basis. They do home visits with the mom to help with any kind of questions or concerns that mom may have while she's actively breastfeeding or while she's pregnant, to say, okay, these are the things that are going to be a benefit to you, but here's the education around breastfeeding. Or even seeing a mom that's struggling, encouraging her to join the program and get the support and guidance that she needs.
Each one of us have our reasoning why this is so passionate to us. Reach Buffalo means to me that there's hope. Being a cancer survivor, I've been through it, and that's something that I want to make a difference. I want it to go down in the books that the number for cancer will decrease because we were able to take menthol, tobacco off the shelf. One of the things that is very, very important, we initiate and talk to different businesses, schools, wherever it's needed about signing a smoke-free policy. Our goal is to have at least 100 policies signed. And we've been doing this within the last 4 years, and we are very close, and we are very proud of it. We're out in the community, we're educating, we're teaching the harmfulness of tobacco, and the fact that a lot of people are not aware that tobacco is damaging to everyone, not just the person that's smoking it, as well as anyone that is inhaling it, that is called secondhand smoke. We do go into multi-unit housing because that as well, again, it affects everyone in that building. So we go in and we do a lot of listening sessions, meaning we go and we talk to them, do demonstration, and allow them to ask us anything that they need to ask us. And we explain to them, if you're smoking in your apartment and you think that it's not affecting anyone else, it's affecting the apartments around you, because in your vents, that smoke is going in there. So therefore, it gets them to start to think, to help prevent that next family from getting that third-hand smoke. So we're very proud of the work that we do with the multi-unit housing.
The common element among all the things that I've done in REACH is bringing people together and give them the best education about what is needed in that particular avenue, whether it's, healthy eating, getting out moving, getting exercise, tobacco smoking. So I think that's probably the best thing that has come out of it. Being a community wellness champion has changed me. It made me more receptive to what people really go through day to day. It makes me want to help more and give more. A community wellness champion is a champion for the community, getting out there, finding out what people need, champion for what they can't do for themselves, sending them to where they can get the information that they need if I can't give it to them. Steer them in the right direction as to, well, try this, go here, go there, and just giving the community what I think I can do to help. The REACH walking routes, we had 4 weekends that we picked to walk. And in addition to helping people to, get out, get exercise, it was a learning experience. It was history of Buffalo. So we picked out a lot of the places that people kind of forgot about over the years. Some things that even I didn't know. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So we were able to, get exercise and learn some history of Buffalo. And it was a lot of fun. So each week it grew as people heard about it and people talked about it. The group got bigger.
Community wellness champion, me. No, really, as a person that have to have sympathy and have to have understanding and have to be willing to work for the people, because the people are going to come, they're going to ask you what's going on, what I need to do, where can I get this? So you have to kind of help them with the information. If I don't know it, I'll try to find out the information. And I feel like we are out there with the community. And I notice over the years, we get a lot of recognition when we come out. They be right there. They say, "Oh, they're gonna REACH." They like us, the millionaires. They trust we done built the trust in the community, and they'll help me find it, and I'll go find out for some of the stuff for myself.
We received REACH funding in 2018. And then along the way, COVID came. And we received some supplemental funding to address vaccine hesitancy from the Center of Disease Control. So we were able to leverage those funds to then increase access to vaccination, to address the vaccine hesitancy that we had experienced not only here but across the country.
The spread of COVID-19, coronavirus, and flu impacts so many things. So what we found out was coronavirus and flu impacted our ability to take care of ourselves economically, financially, take care of our families. Then it impacted our workforce. It impacted how we move about. It impacted how we connected with our nuclear families and our families at large, as a community, your Black club, your church, every place that you fellowship with. And those impacts were huge. Reach has spent a great deal of time empowering the community members. We understand from our offices, we won't be able to fix it. This is not about a fix or a quick fix. This is indeed about a culture shift. It's an awakening for communities to really take the reins and lead the charge of improving their health.
Community vaccine champion. So what we do is we go out to various sites within the community, and it's interesting, we provide information. We don't try to tell people what to do. You know, what we say is there is a vaccine available. In some cases, we partner with, say, the Community Health Center of Buffalo, and we say, if you'd like to get one, there's a resource now, we can walk you to it, you can go right out and get it done. But what we do is try to provide information back to that factual information, because particularly when COVID was raging, there were so many myths, so much misinformation out there. And so what we try to do is actually get out in the community, get on the ground, educate people, and say, no, this is what's actually happening. This is what the vaccine does. This is literature on its safety. So we educate people and try to ease some of their fears, because if you think back, it was a time when people were very fearful. So the hope was that you get concrete information in people's hands and they make better decisions.
Reach Buffalo has been able to really be a trusted partner in the community through several hardships that have been faced. I've had the opportunity to see how much our community come together, how much we are trusting of each other, how much we share knowledge and are willing to, be side by side, and that there isn't a hierarchy, right? There isn't a difference between a community member and us as an organization, let's say. Even when I step back, it's like we are on equal ground with the same mission. So if we weren't authentic and did not have the trust of the community, we could not take the space we take with the community.
I'd like to just, again, compliment Reach for understanding that coming into a community and looking for partners that have already built trust in the community was the way to make a solid impact. And I think that will lead to continued success of programming. But yes, it is definitely about trust in the community.
Waking up the community, activating through education members of the community, catalyzing what could be big change, but getting a start going, getting the fire going, getting the movement started is a real big part of what Reach has been able to do over the last 5 years.
The community has benefited from Reach by being connected. I think I can't say that enough. One of the biggest problems was the siloing and of work. But now folks have an opportunity to get past whatever personal little beef or whatever they had in this community work, organizational work, and have an excuse to work together. And I think that's the beautiful part. I think sometimes people just need an excuse to get beyond their own nonsense. And Reach provides that, along with resources, right? Which is always an incentive, right? So I think that is the biggest thing. And I think in the next 5-10 years with Reach, you're gonna see even more community collaboration, and you're gonna see more of these social determinants of health being fixed, right, and being implemented. A healthier Buffalo looks like a more unified Buffalo. We start to break down some of these walls and we cease to be one of the most segregated cities in the United States.
5-10 years in the future, a healthier Buffalo looks like there are grocery stores within a walking distance of everybody that can get to a grocery store. There is healthcare centers that are, very diverse in staffing wise, where there are a lot of individuals that look like the individuals that they're serving and that they're working with. Also too, there are a number of education opportunities for individuals in the city of Buffalo to say, I would like information in this area, this is where I can go to get it. And having that overall comfortability and security to say, I feel safe asking questions and I feel safe making decisions for myself and or my family.
A healthier Buffalo looks like lower poverty rates, better educational outcomes. If people can't read, they're not going to do well in life. Better grocery outlets, meaning more. I know in my life I like choices, so I assume that everyone else likes choices. So more options and more time spent asking people in neighborhoods what they want. What do they want their neighborhood to look like? More parks, more green space, more urban farms, more people growing in their backyards, more attention to climate change and environmental justice. So there's a lot of work to do, but there's also a lot of promise because while we are an impoverished city, we have a lot of folks here and a lot of folks who come here that want to do good work. So there's a healthy amount of opportunity to make our city much healthier.